sometimes the people you least expect are the ones who do the most unimaginable things. The statement, sometimes the people you least expect are the ones who do the most unimaginable things, by Alan Turing, carries depth and inspiration, not only from his extraordinary intellect but also from his life and relentless struggle. Turing left behind not only a scientific legacy, but also valuable lessons about trusting in the hidden potential of oneself and those around us. Alan Turing, a genius with exceptional imagination and mathematical ability, completely changed the way we view computer science and human potential in solving seemingly insurmountable problems. When he led the code-breaking team at Bletchley Park, many could not believe that a small group could successfully decipher the Nazi Enigma machine. But it was his tireless effort and belief in achieving the impossible that helped Turing and his team succeed, shortening the war and saving millions of lives. This statement not only applies in science, but also extends to all aspects of life. It reminds us that those who are underestimated, those who do not follow conventional norms, are often the ones who make the greatest breakthroughs. Alan Turing's life is a clear testament to this message. As an individual who suffered from the stigma of his sexuality in a time full of prejudice, Turing still tirelessly contributed to science and society. He proved that a person's value is not based on society's acceptance, but on their contributions. Turing also inspired by showing that creativity and willpower can overcome any adversity. When he proposed the idea of the Turing machine, a theoretical tool that laid the foundation for modern computer science, many thought his idea was too far-fetched. But Turing was not limited by skepticism. Instead, he continued to prove that creative thinking could open new doors, surpassing the boundaries of what was known. The lesson from this statement is also in the need to trust in our own abilities and those of those around us. Alan Turing never worked alone. He collaborated, encouraged, and learned from his colleagues at Bletchley Park, thus creating a creative and effective environment. Turing understood that everyone carries special potential, and the combination of these potentials can lead to extraordinary things. In the modern world, the statement, sometimes the people you least expect are the ones who do the most unimaginable things, is more meaningful than ever. It reminds us of the value of giving opportunities, especially to individuals or groups who are underestimated. History has proven that the greatest innovations often come from the least expected places, from those who dare to think differently and dare to do what they believe in. Turing also left an important message about courage and the spirit of overcoming adversity. In his final years, despite facing stigma and isolation, he continued to think and work, leaving behind ideas that were decades ahead of their time. His unyielding willpower is an inspiration not only to scientists, but also to all those seeking meaning and value in life. Finally, this statement by Alan Turing is not only an affirmation of individual ability, but also a call for each person to trust in their potential. It encourages us to look beyond prejudices, surpass self-imposed limits, and continuously explore new possibilities. Alan Turing fully lived by this philosophy, and his legacy will forever be a source of motivation for future generations. Those who are not afraid to think big and do the extraordinary. Sometimes the people you least expect are the ones who do the most unimaginable things. The statement, sometimes the people you least expect are the ones who do the most unimaginable things, by Alan Turing, is not only philosophical, but also reflects the depth from his own journey. It is not just a declaration of belief in oneself and others, but also a reminder that great achievements are often made by individuals who are not afraid to push beyond the usual limits. Alan Turing was not a typical scientist according to the societal norms of his time. As an introverted person, different and often misunderstood, he proved that uniqueness in thinking is the key factor in breakthroughs. When he began the task of deciphering the Nazi Enigma machine, Turing not only faced technical challenges but also had to overcome skepticism from colleagues and superiors. He was not just the leader of the decoding team, but also an inspiration, motivating the entire team to push past initial failures and ultimately achieve success. This statement is particularly meaningful when viewed in the context of the society in which Turing lived. He was a gay man in an era when this was considered illegal and harshly condemned. However, Turing did not let these prejudices prevent him from contributing to science and humanity. His achievements in developing the foundations of computer science and artificial intelligence were decades ahead of their time. He is a living proof that sometimes those who are seen as unsuitable are the ones who bring about the greatest changes. The philosophy in Turing's statement also emphasizes that creativity and success are not limited by background, reputation, or social acceptance. Instead, they are shaped by perseverance, belief in oneself, and the ability to think beyond what is seen. When he proposed the concept of the Turing machine, a theoretical idea that laid the foundation for modern computer science, Turing faced much skepticism. However, he not only convinced people with his brilliant thinking, but also with his ability to turn ideas into reality. The statement, "Sometimes the people you least expect are the ones who do the most unimaginable things," also carries a strong message of inclusivity and encouraging potential. Turing understood that everyone has unique value and abilities, and it is this diversity that creates collective strength. At Bletchley Park, where he led the decoding team, Turing always encouraged people to contribute ideas, experiment with different methods, and not fear failure. This not only helped them succeed, but also fostered a creative and collaborative working culture. In a world that increasingly values performance and achievement, this statement reminds us that true values often do not come from easy paths. To achieve greatness, sometimes we must take risks, think differently, and trust in those whom society often overlooks. Alan Turing showed that it is our differences and individuality that lead to breakthroughs. Furthermore, Turing's statement is an encouragement for the younger generation, those often under pressure from societal expectations and ideas about success. It urges them to pursue their passions, continuously learn, and explore their own potential. Turing is a clear example that, even when misunderstood or unrecognized, your value can still create timeless change. This statement is not just a personal philosophy, but a guiding principle for society. It urges us to create opportunities for everyone, especially those who are often underestimated or excluded. From the least expected places, innovations and solutions to major problems often arise. By trusting in differences and diversity, we not only honor Alan Turing's legacy, but also build a more progressive society. Finally, this statement by Alan Turing not only reflects his personal journey, but also leaves a timeless lesson. Look beyond prejudices, offer opportunities to everyone, and never stop believing in the vast potential hidden in every individual. For Turing, the extraordinary does not lie in following norms, but in daring to break them to create a better future. If machines can think, do we know how they think? The statement, "If machines can think, do we know how they think?" by Alan Turing is not just a philosophical question, but also the foundation for deep discussions about artificial intelligence and the nature of consciousness. This is not only a curiosity about the capabilities of machines, but also a challenge to human understanding of intelligence. Turing, with his visionary ideas ahead of his time, posed this question in an era when the concept of artificial intelligence was still very new and far-fetched. At that time, the idea that machines could think like humans was considered impossible. However, Turing did not merely contemplate this possibility, but also sought to establish principles and standards to evaluate it. From this, he developed the famous Turing test to determine whether a machine could exhibit intelligent behavior similar to that of a human. This test became an important milestone in the field of artificial intelligence and still holds philosophical and practical value today. Turing's question raises a larger issue about how we define and understand intelligence. He not only viewed machines as tools, but also as entities capable of learning and adapting. This not only changed how we design and use machines, but also propelled the development of today's artificial intelligence systems, from deep learning to artificial neural networks. Turing's philosophy in this statement also carries a profound humanistic meaning. He didn't simply focus on the capabilities of machines, but also reflected on human humility in understanding the world around us. If we haven't fully understood how we think, can we truly understand how a machine thinks? This serves as a reminder that the development of science and technology requires not only intelligence but also patience and respect for the unknown. This statement also provokes thoughts about the relationship between humans and machines. If machines can think, should we consider them as tools, colleagues, or a new form of life? Turing opened the path for us to reflect on how technology not only supports but also challenges us in defining ourselves. It is from questions like these that scientists and philosophers have sought to build a long-term vision for the future of artificial intelligence and its role in society. Alan Turing also emphasized that answering this question is not only a theoretical issue, but also highly practical. He believed that to understand how machines think, we need to create systems capable of self-learning and improvement. This is the foundational idea for machine learning algorithms, one of the fastest growing fields in modern science. Turing demonstrated that the thinking ability of machines is not magic, but the result of clear mathematical and logical principles. In today's world, Turing's question remains just as relevant. Artificial intelligence systems, from virtual assistants to advanced technologies in medicine and finance, reflect the continuation of ideas he initiated. However, the question, do we know how they think, remains a significant challenge. It reminds us that despite making great progress, humanity must continue to learn, explore, and be cautious in developing and using technology. Finally, this statement by Alan Turing is not just a declaration about science, but also an invitation for us to reflect on the infinite potential of intelligence, both human and machine. It inspires us to continually ask questions, challenge boundaries, and seek answers, even when they seem unattainable. Turing, with his intellect and courage, left behind a timeless legacy, reminding us that every question, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity to open new horizons. Men may hide their thoughts, but they cannot hide what they do. The statement, men may hide their thoughts, but they cannot hide what they do, by Alan Turing is a profound philosophy about transparency and honesty in action. It is not just a simple observation about human behavior, but also a lesson on how we shape ourselves and interact with the world. Turing understood that, in life, words can easily be distorted or misunderstood, but actions cannot. It is actions that are the clearest proof of a person's intentions and values. Throughout his career, Turing not only spoke about grand ideas but also dedicated his life to realizing them. From decoding Enigma during World War II to developing the foundation for modern computer science, every step he took demonstrated a strong commitment to the values he believed in. This statement also emphasizes that actions cannot be hidden forever. In history, those who leave lasting marks are often not the ones who only talk, but those who dare to act, even in the face of opposition or difficulty. Turing, with his courage and perseverance, never stopped acting, even knowing that what he did was sometimes not understood or recognized by society at the time. Turing's actions at Bletchley Park are the clearest proof of this philosophy. Though he did not always share all of his thoughts, the achievements he attained spoke for themselves. When he and the decoding team succeeded in breaking the Enigma code, it was not just a technological victory, but a turning point in history, shortening the war and saving millions of lives. The philosophy, what they do, also reflects the truth that actions often have more power than words. Turing did not spend time debating or defending himself against social prejudices about his sexuality or lifestyle. Instead, he focused on his work and let his actions speak for themselves. This not only showed humility, but also provided a lesson on how to face difficulties in a positive and effective way. This statement also carries a meaning about personal responsibility. Turing understood that no one can escape the responsibility for their actions. Whether in work or life, every action has consequences, and it is these consequences that shape how others perceive us. For Turing, personal responsibility was not just an obligation, but also an opportunity to show one's value and contribute to society. In the modern context, Turing's statement still holds value. It reminds us that in a world full of information and words, actions remain the determining factor. What we do not only defines who we are, but also creates real impact. Especially in the fields of science and technology, where grand promises and plans often do not align with reality. Turing's philosophy is a strong reminder that only actions bring about change. Alan Turing, with his inspiring life, demonstrated that actions are the most powerful language. Although he could not hide the stigma and difficulties he endured, it was his actions that transcended everything, leaving behind an unforgettable legacy. The statement, "Men may hide their thoughts, but they cannot hide what they do," affirms that only through actions can we truly prove the value and meaning of our lives. In a rapidly changing world, the only way to fail is to not dare to change. Alan Turing's statement, "In a rapidly changing world, the only way to fail is to not dare to change," is not only a reminder of the importance of adaptation, but also a guiding principle for how we face changes in life. Turing was not only a great scientist, but also a symbol of courage in embracing and creating change. The world Turing lived in was one of war and chaos, where stability seemed impossible. In that context, deciphering the Nazi Enigma machine was not just a technical challenge, but also a task that required constant innovation. Turing understood that the only way to defeat Enigma was to change the conventional approach, using intelligence and technology to create superior methods. This innovation helped him and his team shorten the war, save millions of lives, and lay the foundation for the development of modern computer science. This statement by Turing also reflects the truth that in an increasingly volatile world, stagnation is the greatest enemy. If we don't dare to change, we will be left behind while the world continues to move forward. Turing proved this through his own career. When he proposed the concept of the Turing machine, a theoretical idea that laid the foundation for modern computer science, many people thought it was too far-fetched. However, it was this innovation that opened a new era, where technology became a powerful tool to solve complex problems. The philosophy, "not daring to change is the path to failure," not only applies to science, but to all aspects of life. It reminds us that change is not only necessary, but also an opportunity for growth and progress. Turing did not shy away from challenging the limits and norms of his time. From creating technical solutions to confronting societal prejudices about his lifestyle and sexuality, he understood that only by daring to change could we truly master our own destiny. This statement also carries a profound humanistic meaning. It encourages us not only to adapt to change, but also to actively create it. Turing did not wait for opportunities to come to him. Instead, he created opportunities by exploring new ideas and challenging old limits. This not only helped him achieve great accomplishments, but also left an invaluable legacy for future generations. In the modern context, Turing's statement still holds true. In a world where technology and society change daily, daring to change and adapt has become more important than ever. From startups to large organizations, those who are willing to innovate and take risks are the leaders. Turing, with his forward thinking and spirit of continuous innovation, demonstrated that change is not only a way to survive, but also a way to overcome and thrive. Alan Turing, through his life and career, left a valuable lesson that in a constantly changing world, change is not just a choice, but a responsibility. The statement, "In a rapidly changing world, the only way to fail is to not dare to change," reminds us that we must face uncertainty with courage and always seek new ways to move forward. For Turing, change is not an enemy, but an opportunity to explore infinite possibilities and create a better future. Success often comes from those who dare to face the impossible. The statement, "Success often comes from those who dare to face the impossible" by Alan Turing is a powerful encouragement for courage and perseverance. Turing, with his extraordinary intellect and determination, proved that what seems impossible is often the greatest opportunity to create change. During World War II, deciphering the Nazi Enigma machine was considered an impossible task. However, Turing and his team at Bletchley Park did not hesitate to face this challenge. They used creativity, mathematical knowledge, and technology to succeed, save millions of lives, and shorten the war. This was not only a technical victory, but also a clear demonstration of the spirit of daring to face the impossible. This statement by Turing not only applies to science, but to everyday life. It reminds us that to achieve great accomplishments, we must overcome fear and the limits we place on ourselves. Great successes do not come from safety, but from bold steps into uncharted territory. Turing left a legacy of courage and creativity. He showed that the impossible is only a temporary barrier, and through effort, we can turn it into reality. His words are not only advice, but also an endless source of inspiration for those who dare to dream and take action. Alan Turing is one of the most brilliant scientists of the 20th century, not only for his contributions to computer science, but also for his pioneering spirit and courage in facing the challenges of his time. His life and career are a living testament to how intellect, perseverance, and passion can overcome all adversity. Born in an era when computer technology was still a distant concept, Turing tirelessly explored and innovated to lay the foundation for an entirely new field. With his exceptional logical thinking, he developed the Turing machine, a simple yet powerful theoretical model that laid the foundation for all modern computer systems. His ability to imagine what no one else thought of opened a new era, completely changing how humans process information and solve problems. Turing did not stop at theory. He was also a man of action. During World War II, when the world was faced with chaos and fear, he courageously led the team at Bletchley Park to decode the Nazi Enigma machine. This was not only a technical victory, but also a human victory, helping to shorten the war and save millions of lives. What is even more remarkable is that Turing accomplished this despite being surrounded by skepticism, prejudice, and immense pressure. However, Turing's life was not just a story of achievements, but also a tragedy. As a gay man in an era when this was considered a crime, he endured stigma and severe punishment. Yet, he did not let these injustices hold him back. Instead, Turing continued to innovate and contribute, leaving ideas and inventions that were ahead of their time. This demonstrated not only strength, but also a deeply human spirit, reminding us of the value of courage and authenticity. Turing's legacy is not only in his scientific works. He left a profound lesson about willpower and perseverance. Dare to think, dare to act, and never give up in the face of difficulty. Turing proved that true creativity is never limited by circumstances. He was not only a scientist, but also a symbol of courage, innovation, and faith in human potential. In a constantly changing world, Alan Turing's story is an inspiration for us to keep learning, creating, and trusting in our abilities. He reminds us that no matter how harsh the circumstances, humans can overcome and create extraordinary things. With his timeless legacy, Turing will forever be one of the greatest figures science and humanity have ever witnessed. Alan Turing left a legacy not only in science, but also as a valuable lesson about courage and creativity. He reminds future generations that only when we dare to think, dare to act, and explore new limits, can we open vast new horizons and create a timeless mark.